Diviértete, aprende e infórmate con Jump into Rionegro Bilingüe, un espacio para mejorar tu nivel de inglés y entérate de todo lo que acontece en Rionegro y en el programa municipal de bilingüismo.
Have fun! Learn and be informed through Jump into Rionegro Bilingüe, a space to improve your English level and find out everything that happens in Rionegro and related to the municipal bilingual program. Welcome! This program is sponsored by the municipal's mayor's office, Rionegro Advancing More Together, and the Centro Colombo Americano.
Welcome to Jump into Rionegro Bilingüe.
Hello everyone, I'm Maria and this is Bridget.
Buenas, buenas. Maria, some call this época the most wonderful time of the year.
That's right, Bridget, and I think that it's safe to say that many feel that way about this time of year here in Colombia, especially in Antioquia.
Now, I know this is an easy one, but what do our listeners think we are referring to?
Well, if last night was any indication, our listeners are well aware that the holiday season is upon us.
Oof, you're not kidding. Even after all these years living here, I don't think I will ever get used to the bulla or noise and commotion during the alborada.
Did you know that alborada translates to the dawn or the first sunlight coming up over the horizon? However, for los antioqueños, it means celebrating the arrival of December 1st when the clock strikes 12 midnight.
We don't do this in the US, and I know you don't do it in England either. This is just one of the many ways that Christmas time or the holiday season is celebrated around the world.
Well, with this show, we're so happy to be welcoming the holiday season with you, our dear listeners, and talk about these different traditions.
Yes, but at the same time, it's a little bittersweet because this is our last show of the year. However, we made sure to jam-pack today's show with lots of Christmas fun. So let's get started.
Y ahora, give me 5.
Well, bringing up the topic of the bulla from last night, we should remind everyone about the campaigns across Antioquia in every city and town, with Rionegro not being an exception, to enjoy your holiday season sin pólvora, or without firecrackers.
Yes, this is for the safety of children and adults alike celebrating at this festive time. We want everyone to enjoy themselves immensely, but in a responsible and safe way.
Additional to avoiding serious injuries and other tragedies for our loved ones, we know how detrimental and dangerous firecrackers can be for our pets and for the local wild fauna and flora, la fauna silvestre y la flora.
During this time of happiness and celebrations, we need to take care of our friends and families, our mascotas, and local wildlife. Remember, la vida se disfruta, mejor se empodera.
Yes, very important that we all do our part. Bridget, what else does the mayor's office have going on during this time?
Well, part of the economic activation plan for December is that many stores and other businesses in the historic center will be expanding their hours until 12 midnight. Están ampliando el horario comercial hasta las 12 de la medianoche from December 1st to the 30th.
And you can expect an ample and varied cultural offering during the month of December as well. Be sure to check the agenda at rionegro.gov.co or on their social media pages.
Another important aspect that goes hand in hand with the Plan de Activación Económica is the heightened security plan for this time of year.
Oh yes, very important. You can count on the public forces, la fuerza pública, to be out in full force and 24/7 monitoring with the cámaras de seguridad del CMC.
Additional to that, there is a panic button, un botón de pánico, located in la Plaza de la Libertad in case of emergency.
It's important to remember that there's always a bit more congestion and traffic during this time of year. Make sure to give yourself enough time to get where you need to go so that we can keep people safe on the roads.
And finally, a favorite among so many, the beautiful Christmas lights displayed around the region will have extended hours as well, ensuring that more of the region's citizens can enjoy them. With these measures in place, the mayor's office wishes everyone a safe and happy holiday season.
Comenzamos con Culture Bites.
Bridget, what day is officially considered Christmas for you in the United States?
Well, Maria, we have Christmas Eve on the 24th and Christmas Day on the 25th. What that means is that kids go to bed early on the 24th so that Santa Claus can come and deliver the presents in the night. And then everyone wakes up on the 25th to find presents under the tree, and that's when we exchange and open our gifts.
That's definitely different from here in Colombia, where children and adults stay up on the 24th, La Nochebuena, and at midnight, when it becomes the 25th, they open up gifts with friends and family. In the UK, we have Christmas Day the 25th and then Boxing Day, which is the 26th. Boxing Day is more of a time to spend with friends and distant relatives, visiting and exchanging gifts.
And Maria, what is Santa Claus known as in the UK?
Well, when I was a little girl, we mostly called him Father Christmas. However, nowadays, I would say that he's called either Father Christmas or Santa Claus.
Santa Claus has many aliases. He is also called Saint Nick, Kris Kringle, Papa Noel, among others.
While in the Spanish language they refer to him as Papa Noel, he isn't the one that brings kids their presents at Christmas.
Ah, that's right. It's El Niño Jesús, which in English translates directly to the baby Jesus. And that always gets a little chuckle when it is said in English because it sounds a little strange.
There are many different ways Christmas is celebrated around the world, but there are some commonalities as well.
Yes, for one, the Christmas tree is a tradition that many countries share. However, the type of trees used and how they are decorated can be very different. Maria, what is a common thing to decorate the Christmas tree with in England?
Well, I would say fairly common things like ornaments, lights, and tinsel.
In the US too. Another commonality is the gathering of family and having a big dinner with special dishes made mainly at this time of year only.
Bridget, I know that in the US many people make a Christmas ham or turkey, but did you know that in addition to those traditional foods in England, cooking a Christmas goose or lamb is also very common?
Oh, that's interesting. Definitely not something we would typically eat at Christmas dinner in the US.
Something else that many countries share around the world is Christmas music.
We can't forget about the Christmas music. While in the US and UK we have Christmas carols, something like villancicos here, Colombia as well as other Latin American countries have music they classify as December music.
Yes, this is the time of year that those December porros and cumbias are played everywhere, and everyone seems to know them. They are great for dancing.
Then we have the billion-dollar industry that is Christmas decorations, which includes the very important decoration, Christmas lights.
Everything is so festive at this time of year with the beautiful decorations, and we're so lucky to live in Antioquia where they have such amazing light displays everywhere.
It's easy to see why this time of year is such a special and magical time for so many countries around the world.
Ahora vamos con bilingual guests.
We have two special guests with us today. They both have spent quite a few Christmases enjoying the lights and festivities here.
That's right. We have with us Jackie Bertman and John Paul Darby. Jackie is from the United States and currently lives in Boston, while John Paul is from Bedfordshire, England, and he currently lives here.
We asked them to share with us their thoughts on their time spent celebrating Christmas here in Colombia, and we wanted to know a little bit more about their family traditions at this time of year.
Let's first welcome Jackie to the show.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. Happy to be here today, and a Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates.
Jackie, what are your favorite memories of your time spent celebrating Christmas here in Colombia?
One of my favorite memories from being in Colombia during Christmas is always the Dia de Velitas. It's a really fun holiday that we don't do here in the U.S., and I really think it's cool. I remember going down to the Parque de Laureles and lighting candles with friends, and it was a really special memory. And the weather's just not good in Boston for that type of social activity, so I really appreciated that, not only were we able to celebrate Christmas, but it could be outside and with friends.
Was there anything that was surprising to you about the way Los Antioqueños celebrate Christmas?
I think one thing that kind of surprised me was just how many different activities there are to do and how much fun Christmas really is in Medellin. Everybody just has this kind of light spirit, and you can feel kind of this amazing energy in the city. And it's something that I'd never felt before. And so I really, really love the holiday time in Medellin just because you just have such a light feeling as you're going around town, even just doing your basic stuff like chores and all that type of thing. It's a great place to be during December and January.
What are some of your family traditions that you do when celebrating Christmas in the US?
So we have kind of two major family traditions that we always do. And one of them is when I was a kid, we would always go cut our Christmas tree after Thanksgiving. So in the Northeast where I live, there are a lot of Christmas tree farms where every year they grow Christmas trees. And you and your family can walk out into a field of different Christmas trees and actually cut down your own to bring home and put a live tree in your house, usually a fir, like a balsam fir or a Fraser fir. And the second tradition in my family that we always do is in the U.S. we usually have stockings that we hang. And when I was a kid, we had a fireplace. We would hang it from the chimney. And every year, my dad would get us a little Lego vehicle, like a little car or a little helicopter or a little plane, ambulance, boat. And he would put one of those in each of our stockings. And we would open those first and then build them on Christmas so that we had little Lego vehicles to play with. So it's a fun tradition that I still like to do, even though I'm an adult.
When you first came here, did you find it hard to feel like it was actually Christmas time since it wasn't cold and there wasn't any snow like it normally is in December in Boston?
Honestly, when I first came to Medellin, I was really surprised at how Christmassy it felt. I kind of thought without the snow, it would be a really different vibe, but with the decorations and the holiday spirit and everyone feeling festive and cooking and the dancing and the songs and the parties, it definitely felt like Christmas in a big way. And I've always enjoyed every Christmas that I've had in Medellin, sometimes more than the Christmases in Boston.
Thanks, Jackie. Now let's get John Paul's take on Christmas in Colombia.
Welcome, John Paul.
Thanks for having me on the show. I'm really happy to be here.
What's one thing that you really enjoy about Christmas here in Colombia?
What I really like about Christmas here in Colombia is that it's just one big party. I mean, that kind of sums it up, really. It's an excuse to get together with family and friends, and it's not just seen as one day. It's actually a whole month of celebrations.
What would you say are some of the main differences between Christmas here and Christmas there in England?
One of the biggest differences is here it's a party. I mean, there is the element of getting together with family, but back in the UK, it's more of, it's one day, so it's 1 or 2 days where you get together with family and it's just basically eating, playing board games, talking, watching TV, watching movies, and not so much the dancing aspect and the party aspect you get here in Colombia. So it's a lot calmer and it's very different because it's more so focused to just a few days rather than a whole month.
Do you and your family have any Christmas traditions that you do every year?
In Christmas traditions with the family, well, normally with us it rotates around food. So we always have to have a Christmas pudding with custard and mince pies, apple pies. Another tradition we have is we always play a board game in the evening. So we normally sit down and we just, several board games are our favourite and we play them for several hours.
Thanks so much, John Paul. We wish both of you and your families a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Nuestra sección, Word of the Day.
Maria, did you know that in the United States, the population is made up of such a melting pot of people from around the world that not everyone celebrates Christmas? However, some of them have very important religious and traditional holidays during this time of year as well. So, for that reason, we sometimes wish people happy holidays or season's greetings.
That's nice. Yes, the UK has its fair share of people from around the world living there who don't necessarily celebrate Christmas either. What I've noticed is that in the UK, it's more common for us to wish people a happy Christmas instead of a Merry Christmas. In the US, they don't use that too much.
That's true. Maria, what is a Christmas cracker? We don't have those in the US.
Well, it's a trinket that everyone opens at Christmas lunch. One person takes one end and the other person takes the other, then you pull it apart. The person that ends up with the bigger end keeps what's inside, a paper crown, a plastic toy, and there's a joke to read aloud to everyone. Let's see what words our co-host Ricky has brought for us today.
Hello, ladies. Do you know what a candy cane is?
I love them. They are so popular at Christmas in the US, a common symbol this time of year for us. They are a cane-shaped candy that are traditionally white with red stripes and flavored with peppermint. Delicious.
What are the things that people decorate their trees with?
Those are ornaments or adornos.
That's right. Now, what is a pesebre in English?
That is a nativity or a nativity scene.
Very good. So that's candy cane, ornaments, nativity. To our listeners and you both, Happy Christmas.
Thanks, Ricky. Same to you. We hope that our listeners will be able to put into use these vocabulary words at this time of year.
También queremos escucharte. Escríbenos usando el hashtag Río Bilingüe 2022 y participa de este espacio de aprendizaje y multiculturalidad.
That concludes our show for today and sadly for this year.
We'd love to hear from our listeners. Please tell us about one of your family's Christmas traditions. Do you cook something special? Does everyone gather at your grandparents' house? Let us know by participating using the hashtag Río Bilingüe 2022 on social media. You can also send Christmas wishes to your family and friends as well.
From the Mayor's Office of Rionegro, the Centro Colombo Americano Medellín, and Companaco, Antioquia, we want to wish everyone a very
Merry Christmas!
Gracias por conectarte con nosotros en Jumping to Rionegro Bilingüe. Recuerda sintonizarnos cada jueves entre las 6:45 y las 7 de la noche en Coredi FM 90.5, porque juntos avanzamos más. Hasta pronto.
Thanks for joining us today on Jump into Rionegro Bilingüe. Remember to tune in every Thursday between 6:45 and 7 p.m. on Coredi FM 90.5. Advancing more together. See you next time.